Hello, my name is Lavinia and I am the owner and director here at Natural Flowism. Today I'm just taking some shots, doing typical office work, and I just thought, as I've taken some stills, I'll do a little video. I'm not always this together, to be honest, and I'm not really together at the moment now, but thankfully I'm really trying to change. I have been affected by stalking behaviours going back as far as about 1987. And recently it has been again intense and again financially restrictive in a way. It's so difficult because I don't want to have anybody else to blame. I don't want to be blaming. I understand what that is, but I am affected. I'm really conflicted because I'm a person that wants to get on and get things done. But again, I find myself in a situation which is my responsibility at the end of the day. However, it comes off the back of a lot of things happening. So I again, trying to negotiate something the only way I know how. And, you get to a stage where you just have to look at the way you're doing things and see if you're doing it correct. And I don't, and see if you're really reaching, all the potential of resources and help you can get. So this is just off the bat, so I'm having a bit of a rant here. So yeah, what I was saying is that I'm not always this together, but today I was doing some office work, and you've got to verify yourself these days to get things done. And in the past, I never thought about it. Literally, I would be here in the air like it is. I would just get out of bed. I had gotten so bad and out of contact with myself, not intentionally, but I just was struggling with something that even in my private domain, I couldn't escape. And eventually it took a toll on me even trying to put myself together. And this isn't, brilliant, cracked lips and everything, but I just want to speak to the fact, of external pressure, as you could tell, I am quite conflicted in the way I speak about it because I really do believe in self-responsibility, self-authority, and really honing them and getting them to a really a good level of standing. But I must admit, in the recent past months, I have just been unable to not be cursing or reacting incredibly badly. I mean, I'm a highly creative person, so don't get me wrong. I entertain myself first and I crack myself up first before anybody else. But it has just been so intense, and in a professional environment as well. So you can imagine this has not been brilliant in that respect. But it has been honest. Child, let me tell you. I ain't even lying. I put the makeup on, but I didn't get a toothbrush out. So let me tell you, this isn't too brilliant. But it's been the truth, and I'm not a person that is interested in hiding it. I am the way I am, and I built what I built, which isn't, to what I could do in a way to keep myself somehow keep an awareness up about what I'm going through. It is incredibly continual targeting, and or if you call it stalking, lechery, whatever it is that the other person is going through, that is causing you to be experiencing unwanted behaviors, any kind of nuisance or harassment, is challenging. And it's painful, it's hurtful to see somebody else need to do that. And it's painful as well to go through it, to be on the receiving end of it, and still trying to fund yourself normally and things like that. I just frustrate incredibly a lot with regards to that situation. So anyway, I just thought I'll have a little monologue, build my confidence up until now. Like I was saying, I wouldn't even think to get ready. I have struggled with self-image. I've been menopausing for years, so don't get me wrong, that does contribute to that. Even though, you know, the fight back against it has been incredibly difficult, because if you know that is you're in that, then you then take precautionary measures and try to build yourself up. I'm having a bit of back pain here. So there has been injuries to deal with, you know, weight loss not going as fast as you want. And even though there are things that, you know, if you know you're in a situation, you plan for it, you do whatever it is to get yourself organized within it, so you can then power on out of it. It has been difficult at times to even get to that point. There have been times I come here and sitting here at home, and I can't even remember. I walk in here and I can't even barely stay awake. Like I don't know. I mean, I have quite a big I don't want to say a big schedule, but you know, I am quite busy in what I'm doing, so I've got a lot to do. And for weeks and months, intensely, once injured and had to stay at home, I would get some things done, I will completely forget I've got other things to do. I walk into the room and see the stock and the things that need to be made, and I couldn't even raise my energy to it. It has been a long time trying to really pull myself back to myself, because and it's been 10 years. I keep saying it's 10 years. I'm sure it's 2014. I know I began blogging. I need to confirm it again. But anyway, for me, it's a 10-year journey of even deciding that I was going to share my written work and my feelings and my... and it wasn't even really a decision. It was just an automatic thing, because when you're faced with incidents, and sometimes, with all due respect to everybody who's trying to help, sometimes approaching institutions or any kind of business, regardless of what form it takes an enormous amount to pull it together. And so even though people are in the business of helping, resources may not come together, trying to get the right people in place may not be there at the time. And sometimes it could be you get caught in between that and you reach for help and it doesn't quite, you know, reach you back the way you need it to. So that's been the complexity. So all I want to do is I'm just giving a bit of insight of what it's really like to be on the receiving end of that. You know, you look at successful people and they've got brilliant imaginations, and you know, they could really bring it to the fore. It takes a lot, and a lot of times behind that you are going through something like stalking, and it could be incredibly violating. It can also, not only is it hurtful, and it can also damage you, it can be external. Like you could see, for some people, you could see the scars, but it can also be, I dare to want to warn of this, non-apparent. There are practices that can occur where you can be touched, I should say, it could feel like you're being touched or being connected to in some kind of energetic form, because if it's a situation where you were stalked after a relationship, see, I haven't done all my physio today, but yeah, if you were in a relationship and it ends and it's over for you, but it's not over for the next person, and they may still want to touch you, they may still want to be intimate with you. So maybe this will come under, there are I think about 5 or 6 behavioral types. Bearing in mind there are 16 brain types, but 5 or 6, I think, behavior types for stalking, and one of them is intimacy stalking. So if you are faced with an intimacy stalker, and they still want to be able to touch you and hold you, they may devise ways of doing that. You know, whilst we use meditation and different forms of meditative practice to let go of negativity or unwanted situations, there are those who will then reinvent a way to still maintain contact, and it can be non-apparent, and that can be incredibly violating. And I could all I could do is say it this way is I remain concerned about that being an issue with me, but definitely I would come back home and I just could not function. Things that you would think, oh, she's at home. What if she's got an album, 2 albums waiting, she'd be getting on with that. If I pull something apart, sometimes I can't get it back together again for a time. I would go out to work. I would go out to work. I would, as far as I'm aware, sleep, reset my brain, head out to work, going along at work, and multiples of incidents would happen. I mean, when from about 2018, I remember I used to be traveling along the A40 to M40 quite area, and M40 to M6 quite a lot. And anytime I got round to the area of Shirley up north in the Midlands, there would just be cars, one after the other, thwack, thwack, thwack at the mirrors with the lights. And by the time, every time I looked and there was a car come past me and thwacking, I'm hoping I'm not going to cry. By the time I would get from the M42 to the M40, by the time I would get to the A40 near London, my head and my skin would feel like it's blistered. I would feel like I was in a blister bomb. And these people are flashing, they're not actually physically touching me, but I could feel a departure and a connection of energy. And I know this is why I'm saying it's non-apparent, because you look at me, you wouldn't think it, but it would really affect me. But I mean, people have different gifts, and one of the things is that some people will go into a building or something and you could pick up vibes and feelings, and I'm not in a place where there's really good light at the moment, and that is a thing. So before I actually found footage of, finally, years later, after experiencing this in childhood, I remember coming down the stairs in my parents' house. We used to live in Fulham, and seeing a man reaching into the house. He'd broken into the property and was heading for the electricity meters. And I remember standing there witnessing that. I don't have much memory past that, but and again, I knew my house has been broke. I could come home and I could tell something was off. It was just off, and it was just intense negativity. And I remember, I think at the time I was writing Let Us Pray, and I remember I was just really trying to get into the underbelly of it. It was just, I was coming in and I was experiencing something that I hadn't felt that I'd left behind. Just like I go to work, I enjoy my job, I enjoy the skill of it and try to do it safely, try to make good judgments. But then I would enjoy it, but then it just became filled with incredibly negative energy, and it's a second escalation of that. And it is just challenging. It just is incredibly challenging. So one of the things I found very helpful, I've commented it on Instagram. I should explain that I'm also an Amen University student. I studied there and I gained my certification course, and I'm also, that also put me in a position to be an Amen University affiliate to my brain health professional course. So I hope I said that right. I'm so sorry if I got that wrong. I better not have got that wrong. So certified brain health professional. And I did the course. There's very many reasons why you can do the course, and certainly for me it was because my personal life, on a personal level, where I always start, needed an incredible amount of help. So this is off the cuff. I wasn't expecting to do this today, and I'm really trying to make sure I'm well prepped before I get things done, because I've been very spontaneous for a very long time, just to keep it true to who I am. But certainly go to my website at all the W's, .naturalflowism.com. I'm very proud of the pages I built. Click on brain health and you can see the beginning of my journey, which was with the Change Your Brain, Change Your Life book, written by Dr. Daniel G. Amen. I'm very thankful for all the access that I have to the materials. It is just brilliant. And I just wanted to build pages. They're very click friendly because, as you can see, I'm showing you how it is. When I have a bad day and I want to jump to something, I just needed all that information there. And if you have caught me on my frequency free radio station in-house at Natural Flowism Studios, I had said, I'm sure at some point, that I was going to put a resource page on the website so you can delve in. You could buy the course from those. You could go straight from my badge to my course, the course that I did, and you could buy. It is an investment, but it's an investment worth doing. When you look at the level investment you are required to make, think of a lifetime of knowledge and what that will do for you, and how you can implement that in your own life, your own practice, in your business. There's I've just put up another course which gives you a choice of. It goes one course via the other course, so you could go from the trainer course or just the professional certification course. You could definitely see it there. I will be doing this again, people, and I'm about to. I want to get started with some other filming programs, so I'm literally didn't expect to do this today. You would think the amount of time I spent with it, I will have all the details ready. But you can also do a course to teach brain health the way that Amen Clinics method is taught, which is absolutely fantastic, great for teachers and business leaders and everybody like that. This is unofficial, I will say again, and bear with me, I'm just showing myself as I naturally am. But coming onto the brain health training, complements training that I had done long time ago, and that's free flow journal writing. And I recently commented on Dr. Daniel Amen's wife, who's the vice president of Amen Clinics. Dr. Daniel Amen's founded Amen Clinics. Tana Amen is his wife, and she's the vice president of the clinics. She had a post out about teaching about journaling and gratitude, and I'm so grateful for it, because what she said is prior to doing your gratitude journal, because some people hear gratitude, they think, I can't be grateful because you're going through hell, you know what I mean? You're just, if you've been stalked, you're in a divorce, you've lost your job, you've got, someone is messing with you in your neighborhood, you're going to be like, ah. And I had put a comment there, like, rage journal first, and I had done a hell of a lot, and it has helped clear me up, pick me up a bit, got a ton more to do to get me to where I am now. So, look, go to my website. You could get the research information yourself, or go to all the w's.amenclinics.com and follow all the leads. YouTube, you can watch the Scan Your Brain series, which is really good for anybody who wants to schedule a visit and you don't know what it's about, but you're interested. The Scan Your Brain series discusses what people are going through and what brought them to the scan phase. So the scan appointment. So I hope I've not said anything. I really want to publish this as just a very natural flowism vlog. So please, anybody, if anything's just out of kilter, please do your research. Don't just take it from what I'm saying here, because I got this morning, didn't realize I was even going to do this, so I don't have all my material ready at the moment. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I'm just a woman thankful for life and grateful for life, and a woman who writes a lot. My latest book is WEEN. Episode 1 and 2. That's what I'm going to say. You can find it on Amazon. I'll probably put a link when I upload this in the description. Please check it out. It's about what I was saying earlier when I describe things that I've gone through at work. I just, just doing this on the hop, I just thought, let me just speak about it and show my face. And I'd put on some makeup today and just done myself up a little bit, and I just feel a little bit better, because for a long time it's been the oldest army t-shirts because I got to about 17 stone, and I'm still not far off from there, and I've still got a lot of work to do. But I just wouldn't, I just didn't connect. Like years ago, I would be like, right, anybody who's image conscious and a fashionista, you would get up that day and you think, right, this is the girl I'm going to be today. In that sense, not being different than who you are, but we all, some days you want the hat on, some days you don't, some days you want the hair down, some days you want it up. Mine was just like, and it still is like, by the time I go out later, it'd be just like dungarees. I just got some earrings off Amazon because I always love a little bit of jewelry, just to reflect back to myself, and for me to remember. I'm having a lot of lower lumbar puff, just for me to remember how I was and how I used to be, because when I was a lot younger, would not go a day without going out presentable with makeup, hair done, everything. So I just get a little bit light there. Yeah, that's it. Listen, my name is Lavinia Diar. You can hashtag me anywhere. Listen, I don't even know what to say. You can never... I have experienced stalking, continual targeting. I came from a background of rape, molestation and incest abuse within my family. All of my family members had experienced some degree of abuse, and I refer to it as abused because they were abused. When I finally spoke to my late father about what had gone on, because there was so much violence in the family, and I started my journey to really investigate what I was going through and how I was going to, find ways to deal with it, because I found I get so far up the road and then I am back underneath bad dreams and nightmares, and then on top of that, trying to get a perspective on what relationships are, and how to find love. And I must admit, it didn't go too brilliant for me. So my choices were, I mean, it's what card you dealt, but I can say I've been continually targeted since childhood, to one degree or the other, unfortunately. But it doesn't mean life isn't great and I haven't experienced love in life, because I have. But it comes to the fore more times than not, and you get so far and you've got to deal with it again. And I can't. So what I'm trying to explain is that within that, where if you're looking at this and thinking about this in a very logical, linear term, you wouldn't understand the meaning of "I just can't think straight. I cannot put one thought in front of the other. Yes, the bike is just over there. I should have lost weight by now, but I'm still not on the bike." And yes, you do have to get to the point where you find a way to motivate. You keep diving. There are times when I wasn't even diving, so I wasn't even clearing. I'm just saying what is. I'm not talking about the solutions, and because it takes a lot of energy to get to the solutions itself. So that said, I will please read what I've put in the description. That will lead you to more accurate information. This is me from the H to Cell, man. Take care, people. Enjoy yourself. Be good to yourself. Love life, man. It is good. Regardless about speaking about abuses, life is good. So take care. Tana.